Hi, welcome to my studio. I'm Sarah, and today I'm starting the list of Star Wars drawing prompts. The first prompt is favorite character from the movies. For me, that would be Anakin Skywalker. Granted, Clone Wars Anakin is mainly my favorite, but I'll touch on that more in a bit. The next two prompts are favorite droid and R2-D2, which I combined because R2 happens to be my favorite. I hadn't given much thought as to which droid is my favorite before, though. Anakin was my favorite character when I was younger, and he's still one of my top characters. I remember when I turned 9 and realized that I was the same age as him in The Phantom Menace. I wanted to watch that movie too much as a kid. I do want to be clear though, that is not necessarily my favorite movie now. I grew up watching The Clone Wars, which like I said before is my favorite version of Anakin. What is your favorite Star Wars movie? Comment down below. I like the way I got Anakin's hair to look kinda shiny. I'm really happy with how the coloring on his clothes turned out. I still need to do more fabric studies, but there are a few things that I've picked up on, like this curvy shape in his sleeve where it drapes, or these diamond and V-shaped dips or folds, especially in loose fabric like his pants. A mixture of hard and soft shadows for anything, but in this case fabric, are really what gives something the look of overlapping and dipping. I forgot how hard mech type things are to draw. So many blocks of color and shapes to get right, or it looks all wonky, which I kinda ended up with, but I think he turned out alright in the end. Anyways, R2 is really such an admirable droid. He made it from before Palpatine became Chancellor to after the First Order was destroyed. I think I found out a bit ago that he is 66 years old by the sequels, and I would assume that he remembers everything that happened in that time, which is kinda crazy. No wonder he had to shut down for so long in The Force Awakens. The next prompt is favorite Rebels or Clone Wars character. I couldn't decide between Ezra Bridger or Ahsoka Tano for this one, but Ahsoka is in both Clone Wars and Rebels, so I picked her. Who's your favorite character from those two shows? I like this pose, it's very dynamic. I tried to capture that in my sketch, but I had a really hard time getting it right. I do find it interesting how her leku, the parts that hang down from her head, bend with the movement here, since generally they are pretty stiff and don't move. I usually think of Togruta leku in Star Wars like foam, where they can move and bend, but not super easily and not very much. Ahsoka Tano has always been one of my favorite characters. Her character development is amazing. She honestly started off so whiny and headstrong, not that I noticed it when I was younger, but by the end of Clone Wars she has grown so much and is really level-headed. I found that there are a lot of elements from the Clone Wars animation style in the way that I stylize things. The way I draw eyes, noses, a little bit in how I shade hair. Goes to show how much I've watched it. I love Ahsoka's character design, and I think this design is probably my favorite version of her. I do find it funny, so often little kids tend to use orange for coloring lighter skin, at least I did sometimes. And Ahsoka actually does have orange skin. Often for shading, I like to put down my shadow color and highlight color and then go over and blend it all out with my main midtone. And then I go back again with my highlight and shadow colors to lighten and darken any areas that need it. I've been experimenting with not doing line art and letting the sketch show through a little, and I think I like the way it looks. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for the other parts to this series. May the Force be with you, and never forget, you are loved.